Today we will speak about the fact that the applications are almost open. They will soon be open, right? So speaking about the nominations, in order to apply to an MVP application, since 2019, you have to be nominated unless you are already an MVP. So when the applications are open and if you have been nominated by someone, you will be receiving an email. In the email, you have a link for you to create an account, fill out your MVP application and submit. Let's speak about the application process. Here is the whole process followed by Sitecore during the MVP application phase. It starts with the invitation, right? Like we mentioned before, you have to be nominated. You either is an MVP or nominated by an MVP or a Sitecore employee. If you are, you will receive the email, you will create your account, fill your application, and then submit. After that, Sitecore starts the review process, takes 2 months, usually December plus January. The application will be reviewed by current MVPs. Not everybody. I've never been invited, for instance, but I know a lot of people who have been. The people inside Sitecore, regional teams as well, will be there. After that, they will summarize all the reviews, tabulate everything, all the information. They will meet and speak about the applications. And then finally, they got the final decision. If it's yes or no, you will receive an email anyhow, telling congratulations or telling I'm sorry. And the announcements will be public a few days after that, and by the end of January usually. There is something very traditional, I'll say. Every January, people get really excited and at the same time suffering a little bit of anxiety because you applied, you want to, of course, know if you have been nominated, right? Yes, but however, the whole thing, you always need to think about this. If you are incorporating this MVP mindset, you are not doing this for getting the title. Of course, you want the title, right? I want to keep my title as well. But the whole thing is that sometimes you don't have a good year. What you have to do is to keep on pushing, right? So, because the whole thing has to do with the mindset. What is the mindset? You are exposed to opportunities, you learn, and then you share. If you are not being able to do any of these things because you either are not exposed to opportunities or you are not being able to learn or you're not being able to share, any of those things are not working, you probably have a bad application and probably will not have your nomination this year. But what you have to keep on doing is keep on doing that, keep on pushing, right? Because it's not the reward. Of course, it's nice to have a lot of trophies and all that and be recognized. But honestly, I'm not sure if I will be nominated next year. I hope I will, but if I'm not, that's okay. It's only 1 year. I will keep on acting, behaving as an MVP, and I hope you do the same. How old the activities can be to be added to your application? If you are a first-time MVP, if you are applying for your first time, it's okay to send all your relevant history, okay? Even if it's older than a year. If it's like more than 18 months, our experience is that the chances that you have to be used is low, that contribution. But if it's something relevant and older, not older than 18 months, then you can apply. And possibly it will be used as a valid application. Recurrent MVPs. like me, will be only using the things done in the last 12 months. May stretch a little in case a very highly relevant contribution made, but not longer than probably one extra quarter. Okay, and what is exactly a relevant contribution? So I will go through some generic things, important things. First, it's a relevant contribution if it generates new value to the Sitecore community. And here I want to bring you to your attention one important thing. It doesn't have to be something 100% new or 100% complex. It doesn't need to be a totally innovation, a total innovation. But very important, it must bring new information to the community. Okay, so let me give you one advice here. If you are learning something new, because even if it's something basic, okay, and you are feeling the desire to share with the community, before you go and write a document, write a post, please Google that. Google about that information, because before you start typing, make sure you read what is out there, what is available. Because, folks, what you have to do is learn everything that is available in the community and maybe say, oh, this point of view nobody mentioned. Oh, this code snippet I took a long time to get and it's not available anywhere. Or maybe this step by step is, I never seen this summarized anywhere. Or maybe this compilation of links are not there. Or maybe, anything extra that can bring extra value to the community. It doesn't matter if it's a very basic thing, like creating a template in Sitecore. But if you manage to discover something important for you, and that little thing is not available anywhere or not easily available, it's worth making a post or creating a video or producing content in that sense. Relevant contribution also should demonstrate that you invested your time. Okay, investing your time means that it not just participating something, but you are also investing your time. Let me give you one example. A bad one. Attended to the last symposium. You attended to the last symposium and didn't do anything. That's bad. But if you attended to the last symposium and you presented a number of brain dates in the last symposium, you can use that. If you attended to the last symposium and you wrote a blog post about that, or maybe you participated in a Sitecore user group in a round table, or you made a presentation with your takes from the symposium, that's all valid, okay? Hope that makes sense. So participating is one thing, it's important, but after that you have to run the extra mile, right? Either presenting a brain date or presenting your position, speaking about your opinion about that you participated. Another example, maybe if you are participating in an effort of third person, like I have myself, Rodrigo, I do have a Sitecore Hugs. It's an interview. If you manage to be interviewed by me and we produce an edition together, that Rodrigo, I will apply because I produced that video, but you can apply as well because you are part of the video with your inputs, with your ideas. Hope that makes sense. Also, very important, it needs to be verifiable. Your contribution has to have a link or has to be visible somehow. Your authorship must be very visible as well, okay? So if it's an article, make sure your name is in the article as author. If it's a Git repository, make sure your name is on the README. Or if it's a video, make sure your name is in the descriptions, and you know what I'm getting, right? And also, guys, please never ever Don't use an excuse. Never use an excuse, and don't apologize in your application. Example, COVID, okay? You are never ever supposed to speak like, because of COVID, I've been exposed to less opportunities. I can tell about that. For instance, you can tell because of COVID, I've seen that more user groups are now online, and I was able to join more user groups. You can tell about something happened, but you should not use that as an excuse. On the opposite, you should use that to tell your what's your takes on that. So be humble, but don't excuse. Show your current contributions and tell your plans for the next year. You know, there is a space for there to speak about your plans for next year. Still on that contribution side, I would like to tell a little difference about the technology strategy MVPs and the ambassador MVPs, okay? While the technology MVP and the strategy MVP, they're more focused on our own community, okay? So technology strategy people will be producing material, always focusing the Sitecore community and not the outside, the rest of the world. However, the ambassador, the whole meaning of the ambassador is similar to the politics ambassador. You know, you are a person being an ambassador who are working between two communities. And in our case, an ambassador MVP will be promoting Sitecore to the rest of the world, not just to the Sitecore community, but especially to the rest of the world. And remember when I spoke about being verifiable, right? When you are an ambassador, unfortunately, that is not always possible because ambassadors, like I mentioned, they will be bridging different worlds. So some things we do as an ambassador will not be public, but you still can refer, okay? So let me give this example. The evidences in this case will not be a link, but will be the representatives in Sitecore who helped you in the effort. So let's say that we are here, you are here as a person in Alturo working with the client, and you helped Sitecore doing something. You helped Sitecore doing something by speaking to some people in Sitecore, right? Here I have Joe, John, Mary, and Peter, right? So make sure you know these people names, because in your application, you not just use, if you don't have a link, you will say, you know, I work in that effort doing something by working together closely with Mary, John, and Peter from Sitecore. That counts as well, as much as the link. And folks, I would like to drop a few important links here. You know, first is the Sitecore MVP page. It will keep on announcing the updates. There is this great YouTube video. It's a very recent one, produced by an employee in Sitecore, giving us guidance for ambassadors, but also gives a very good, lots of good advices for general. There are a couple important articles in Sitecore Stack Exchange that I am linking here, and also one, how to become a Sitecore MVP, a third-party blog that is also very complex and full of good hints for us, okay?